The following is an audio interview between law enforcement and those who witnessed the tragic incident at the 2021 Waukesha Christmas Parade when Darrell E Brooks drove his mother's red Ford Escape through the parade. 6 people lost their lives that day, more than 70 sustained injuries, and the numbers of those emotionally traumatized is beyond the hundreds. While most of the descriptions contained in this video are not graphic in nature, some may find this audio difficult to listen to. Viewer discretion is advised.
Let's start from the beginning,
Okay.
so that way we can get this, and I'm sure you want to go home and.
Oh yeah,
right?
no, I just live around the corner. It's,
Yeah, but I'm sure you still want to go home. I get it. So, let's see.
I want to help. I was listening to them doing his bail on the radio actually just now. It's just something, one of those things, you don't sleep at night after that because it's
Oh, it can be traumatic, yeah.
playing that in your head.
So what's your full name?
Jason,
So who were you there with?
excuse me, Rhonda, my girlfriend, Susie's son, Jackson, he's 4 years old.
Okay.
And then she had a couple of her other relatives. I know her Aunt Wendy. I don't know Wendy's last name. I could call Rhonda and ask her.
No,
right?
it's okay.
And then obviously there was another aunt and uncle from her. She's got a big family out here.
Okay.
They're kind of all down there too.
Okay. All right.
That
So
was the group that
that was the
we
group.
specifically wrote.
Okay. Do you remember Wendy's last name? It's okay.
I apologize for
No,
it.
no, no. It's okay. No need to
There's
apologize.
so many people in that family.
Right. No problem. So, okay. So tell us in your own words. What did you see?
Okay, so the parade starts, and I want to say it was about 4:30, 4:25, 4:30. The fire trucks were coming through, and right about that time, it was with the float with the hot air balloon basket
Okay.
on it because they were shooting the fire out of it, and I had Jackson on my shoulder so he could see. Right around that time, we saw the maroon, and the reason I remember this is because I caught the first part of the license plate. I'll never forget it. ADP was the first part of the license plate.
Okay.
I'll never. I told the officer that too. We saw this guy like come down the side, and we're like, "What the hell is he doing?"
So I guess I should ask. Have you been interviewed already?
No.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
Okay, yeah, no. They said they were going to call us, and that was
Yeah.
it. So he comes around the corner up there, and
Do you remember where you were standing when this happened?
yeah, we were on the Riverside apartment side, across from, I can't remember the name of the Mexican restaurant, but there's a Mexican restaurant, the old courthouse, and then that street that goes straight.
So across from the Mexican restaurant.
Correct, like smack dab across from it.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, continue.
No, that's fine. So we noticed this car coming off, and I'm drawing with my hands, but if you're facing the road like this, up that way towards,
So from your left.
from my left, that side street, there's like a bar on the corner. I want to say that's White Rock that it intersects with.
Okay.
White Rock in Maine, I think. But anyway, he comes around that corner, and we noticed, we looked, and we're like, what the hell is he doing? And he was on our side.
How did you notice it? I guess a question.
Well,
Is
because
there a lot
all of
of
a
noise
sudden,
or
like,
what?
the floats almost like kind of like slowed down and stopped. And like I said, I had Jackson on my shoulders, and the hot air balloon float vehicle was there. And so we were looking down that way, and we
Okay.
saw the car come around the corner. He had his headlights on. He comes down that way, and we're like, what the hell? And he flew by, and as he flew by us, if I had to guess, I said 30, 40 miles an hour, but I mean, it was a blur, but it was enough that as he was coming, I'm positive it was ADP was the first part of the plate that I
Okay.
caught. Comes by and goes down that way, and we're like, where? He's not even slowing down. So now he's down this way. As this is happening, the father in front of us, who is that guy? He just hit my kid. He hit my kid. He's just freaking out. We're like, shit. And we ran, like,
So you didn't actually see the kid get hit.
I turned this way. All
Following
I
the
saw
car.
was the dad, like, picking his kid up off the ground.
Okay.
He picked his kid up. He was holding him by his chest. We asked if he was okay. Rhonda's uncle, and you're going to hate me for not remembering his name either because she's got so many relatives, ran down the road to get an officer, somebody yelling, hey, we need the police over here. This child turns out the dad's like, he's 2 years old. What the hell's going on? You know, blah, blah, blah. The kid is screaming, but he didn't look hurt. A deputy sheriff, she was female. I don't recall her name. Again, so much was going on at once. She comes over and she's like, is he hurt or not? Because the dad was like, well, I don't know if he got just grazed or brushed because he was just crying and he had his hands moving. She said, sir, you need to take your son's shirt off and check and make sure, does he have any injuries or doesn't he? Because and then that's when she was kind of short with us because she's like, I'm getting calls of shots fired. If we need medics down here, I need to know, you need to take your shirt off, check him. And he's like, I don't know, maybe he's just scared. He doesn't look hurt. He was feeling the arms. And we were standing right there. She goes, I have to go. And she left. The female deputy was Waukesha Sheriff. I'm pretty sure she was in Brown. She leaves to go back down towards this way. Literally, as she's going down this way, a crowd of, if I had to guess, 50 people plus starts coming towards us. They're like, he's got a gun. He's got a gun. And we're like, what the hell? Because we saw the car keep going.
Right.
But they're all screaming, a gun, and they're running towards us.
So let me stop you at that moment. When the car went by, did you see the driver?
No.
No? It went too fast.
It went too fast. All I remember was the license plate, watching him proceed to the next intersection, and
Go right through.
just keep going.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry. So
Like he
continue.
didn't slow down, didn't see brake lights,
Right.
nothing.
So the 50 people are coming.
If I had to guess, I'd say at least 50.
Okay.
No less.
All right. And at this point, what about the father and the kid? Still no idea?
They're like, this is all like
Happening.
It's like time stopped. It
Right.
was like all this is going on at once. So he's checking his kid. He doesn't think anything's broken or anything like that. The female deputy took off down that way. Literally, as this is happening, the sea of people, they're like, he's got a gun, and they're running like a herd of elephants. And we just all panicked. Right behind us, literally, is the lobby door to the River's Edge Apartments.
Okay.
Somebody's coming out of it. We all run in there. We're holding the door. People are going in there.
Okay.
I grabbed my girlfriend, her sister, her kid. I mean, all these people went into this door. They were going into the garage, which was to the right. Some were going up the stairs. They just wanted to get off the street and into somewhere safe.
Right.
Because
Which makes sense.
I didn't hear any of the shot thing, but we weren't going to sit around and be like, oh, there's somebody shooting. You know what I mean? So we just all fled into this building. There was a guy next to me. I remember him. He had a beard longer than mine, a black coat. He said, I'm a Sturtevant police officer. He's like, let's just get everybody here and lock this door. So after the crowd came into that door, we pulled the door shut. It was like a motorized door, but we pulled it shut and latched it. And everybody stayed in there until, oh God, I don't know, probably, I feel like we were in there for about half hour. Police are racing back and forth. One officer came back down. I don't know if he was state patrol or whatever. If I had to guess, about 30 minutes went by. People wanted to get out of there now. Now they're like, okay, what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, what are we supposed to do? And the gentleman who identified himself as a Sturtevant police officer, he's like, let's just hang out for a second until we see somebody else. That, I mean, obviously he doesn't have a radio or anything, knowing what's going on. He opened the door. He went out, kind of looked around up both ends of the street. A couple people just kind of were like, we're out of here. We're leaving. And
No patience.
No patience, right? They left. He felt that it was safe for us to go at that point.
Okay.
The officer who was off duty, and so we're like, okay, and we wanted to get Susie and Jackson, her son, back to their car. There was a lot of women with children, little children, strollers, everything in this building. So we're all panicked, and I'm like, do you think it's a good idea to, I mean, we don't know what's going on down there just yet. And the officer that walked by, he said somebody asked him, is it safe? He's like, I don't know yet. And at this time, everybody's kind of making their own executive decisions of going this way and going that way, back to their cars. That's when we walked back down towards, if you're going towards the War Memorial, back towards where we were parked in that municipal parking lot back there. We got her sister back to her car. Rhonda and I continued walking down. We ran into my brother right in front of if you're familiar with the bars down there. There's Magellan's and Donnie Boy's where most of the injured people were. That's when we had walked by there, and that's where we had met the officer that was like, what did you guys see? He was asking us because we were standing on the corner.
Right.
And we had some pictures and stuff on our phone. And
So that's my next question. Did you provide those to the officer already?
yeah,
or no?
well, no, because that's when he said that somebody was going to probably reach out.
Okay.
And we were kind of wondering too, because we're like, well, we didn't know, if you guys wanted them.
Yeah, I'll take whatever you got.
Some of it's video. I mean, you can see it on here.
No. Can you airdrop them to me?
Oh yeah.
So, and here's my number on there, 414.
Okay, let me see. Select. It should let me do videos too at once, right?
It should, yeah. And then I'll ask you a couple of questions
Sure.
after that.
And I apologize. Like I said, so
No,
much was
stop
going on at
apologizing.
once. It was like
You do it-
I just was worried about my girlfriend, her sister. I mean, obviously worried about everybody, but my main thing was
Right.
my family.
No, I
down there with-
don't. You don't need to apologize. You know,
Just-
you do what you
so-
gotta do.
So scary.
Yep. So, do you remember at that time? I don't know. Are you those people that can only do one thing at a time, or can you do multiple?
No, I can do multiple.
Okay, just check. I have to ask because some people can't do it.
No, trust me. I got to look at addresses going down the road at 30 miles an hour, and
Airdrop. You're trying to airdrop it.
yeah, I tried airdropping it, so it didn't see anybody. No people. You have yours on?
All right.
Maybe mine's not on. Hold on.
Okay, hold on. You know what it could be? It could be that I don't have it on. So
Yeah, mine might be off too.
all right, so hold on. I'm trying to remember how to do this again. So I
Oh,
go to accessibility, right?
General, and then I had mine off too. So general, and then airdrop, and then
General,
I had mine on
airdrop.
contacts only. You got to switch it to everybody.
Receiving off. Okay, so everyone.
Yep.
So that's you, everyone. Okay, so go for it.
All right.
So
iPhone. I'm assuming that's you.
yes,
Other people.
I'm assuming so,
Send
'cause
you a
I don't
message.
see anybody.
Is my-
Airdrop iPhone 12 Pro Max would like to share 7 photos. Accept.
Yep.
Okay.
Some of those are video.
All right, thank you. So, I know you only watched it for a moment, but you said you did see him as he approached the other intersection.
Absolutely.
Was he slowing down? Do you
No.
think he was trying to avoid people? What was your impression?
I mean, again, coming from like my security background and stuff like that, you look for tail lights, brake lights.
Yeah.
That's why we were all like, what the hell? Like it just like he just, like
Keep going.
like it was a freeway.
Okay.
Just keep going, no pause, and that's close to the time that my brother had called us, who was further down there. He's like, "Did you see this son of a bitch?" His words were, "Did you see this son of a bitch?" He goes,
Right.
"There's bodies down here," and he was closer to
The action. And what's your brother's name?
William?
Hold on. Because I got to make sure somebody has stuck to him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna probably be looking for that because he was more ground zero than the rest of us.
Brother William.
Yep.
All right, so I'll definitely be giving him a call.
Yeah.
If he calls you or something, I'm assuming that was him that called you
might-
before Bill.
Yeah.
No, I get that. If you do talk to him, just say, hey, I spoke to an agent today. You
Sure.
can have my card.
Okay.
And he'll be giving you a call probably tomorrow about getting together. And then, all right. So you never saw him slow down.
No, not
Never
at all.
saw brake lights.
And
You
the
thought-
reason that I'm familiar with that area is because I used to go to physical therapy. That next intersection, and I can't remember what the cross street is, but if you're going back down towards the area I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
to my right, if you're standing on Main there, to my right, the next intersection, because on the corner, it's Pro Healthcare, there's a Subway restaurant.
So you're very familiar with that
Oh,
area.
super familiar.
Okay.
And so I know there's a intersection, traffic
Right.
lights there, and obviously a parade going on.
Right.
So there's people on both sides, and he just, you couldn't
Kept
see him
on going
anymore.
through, yeah.
You lost sight of him, like he was
Okay.
on a mission.
You said you work security.
Mm-hmm.
You saw him go by so quickly. Did you ever find out what happened with the father and the little kid?
The dad, they did end up, they were in the lobby with us, and you'd almost have to like be there to see, like, I don't even know how that many people, because it was like a movie scene. We had to like slow people down because they're pushing each other,
Right.
and people are falling down. He stood in the lobby for a while, and he goes, I think he just got brushed. That's what he called it. He said, I think he just got brushed and it scared the shit out of him, is what he said.
Which would have scared me
It
too.
was scared the shit out of me. And the fact that, like, here's where we were standing, here's where they were, because we let the kids stand in front of us
Right.
to get the candy.
Like
and
most
stuff.
people do, right?
Exactly. And I'm thinking, and obviously Rhonda and her sister start crying. They're like, like you could have just stumbled forward and that would have been it.
How far away would you say you were from when the vehicle passed in front of you?
For 12, 14 inches. I mean, he was like riding the curb, like that curb line. Like, you know how if you're looking at the curb, there's that little bit of cement
Right.
before the blacktop? He was right there. I mean, if you'd have stuck your hand out, you'd have touched
So
his
he was
car.
probably centimeters from the kid.
Yeah, guaranteed. And those kids were out a couple feet, off of the
Because
road.
they can't wait for the candy,
Candy,
and stuff.
and
right.
the people that were walking, giving out candy, they
Right.
were on that side too. So, I mean, the kids were out further, but, I mean, obviously nobody expected that
Right.
to happen.
To happen.
And
Okay. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else.
Rhonda, do you want her number if you need her for anything?
Yeah,
She asked too. She's like, they didn't want me to come down. I'm like, I forgot to ask.
That's your girlfriend, right?
Correct, yes.
And she was standing right next to you?
Yep. The whole.
Okay,
the
so
whole-
she would've-
She'll tell you because I grabbed her and Susie and pulled them.
And they haven't been spoken to, right?
They have not, to my
Okay.
understanding. No. Stop opening, closing the garage.
Just kind of say, hey,
I think they
Just
were
Adrian.
terrified, and they, when that officer asked for our information, which I'm assuming how you got my number.
Yep.
They were like, "Can you take mine down too?" Because I mean, they all wanted to say what they saw because they were so. And I think everybody was pissed off about the kid because, we're like, who?
Right. Did you ever find the name of the off-duty officer from?
I didn't. And we just all thanked each other and shook hands. There was a couple of us, I guess, huskier guys that we stayed by that door because the girls, like, don't let nobody else in. We don't know. 'Cause, I mean, at that time, we didn't know.
You don't know who
if
the
he
shooter
jumped out of
is,
the car,
right.
if he had a gun. You know what I mean? We didn't know that he was just plowing through the crowd.
Right.
And so we said, we're going to stay here at this door. It was locked. It had that, like push button on it to unlatch it, but from the outside it was locked. So we just stood there. We weren't letting anybody in, and we were trying to convince people just stay until we know what's going on. Because, again, I mean, if there's some knucklehead, if you would have seen that crowd coming, you would have thought there was somebody with a gun behind them. I mean, they weren't bullshitting when they came down. So we just, grab collars, let's go.
Right.
And
No, you did.
phones.
You did the right thing. Now, is there something that that you think it's important that I should know that I didn't ask you, or?
Like, important as far as
Some observation, something you saw that I didn't ask. I already asked you about
Well, I
if you
think-
could see the subject in the car. You said you really couldn't because he went by so fast.
No. And I can tell you, the driver of the car, because that's about the only thing you could see is the outlet. Had his seat like he was low, like he wasn't
Okay.
like, sitting up like like a normal person driving.
Okay.
Laid back.
Okay.
Leaned back a little bit. That much I remember. And again, at that time, nightfall, sunset was starting, so it was starting to get, you're at the mercy of dim light at that time.
Right.
I mean, it was still light enough out, but everything was like, it was just almost like a blur.
Okay.
The only thing that was kind of disturbing, and I mean, it's obviously nothing towards you guys or anything, but the first thing out of my brother's mouth, and he'll tell you, he actually is trying to find a counselor because he said what he saw just threw him off. And I said, I get it. I mean, it's not something you walk out your door and expect to see on a Sunday, but it took so long for medical and stuff. Like even when that little boy got hit by us, her uncle, he's like, I'm gonna go down there and get a cop, because we were like, I mean, when you don't want one, there's 50, when
Right.
you do want, and I said, you gotta understand what just happened too, I mean, I'm
Right.
sure their focus right now is in 8 different directions, with
Right.
everything that was going on. But he even said down there, he's like, there's more police, but there's no medics, and he said he felt bad, because he obviously doesn't have any formal training in CPR or anything. I was like, you did, I mean,
Yeah.
there's not much you can do, I mean,
Right.
except just be supportive, and if somebody needs something, give them your code or something, I mean.
Right. No. So I'm not making excuses for them or anything.
No,
but
no,
But I
and
can
I-
tell you that normally what happens is, in any situation like this, the medics are on standby,
Right.
but they wait until they get the clearance from police.
And I did say something, because when Ron in the mass, I said, just like with the shooting at Roundy's, I mean, like, those ambulances and stuff, they weren't going anywhere near that building until
Right.
they knew the threat, and
Because
obviously
remember,
virtually-
right? They don't have any weapons. They don't have any
Exactly.
protection. So
Exactly.
they have to wait until the law enforcement tells them it's clear.
Right.
You can go in now. Go do what you got to do.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so
And I
that's
said it's an unfortunate thing, but that's how any
Right.
situation like that.
I mean, at least that's what I imagine happened. That's normally what
Right.
happens, so.
And again, the amount of people too, I said, you gotta remember, Bill, I said, you're talking, well, now we know numbers, upwards of 60 people, I mean, that's a
Right.
lot of
Right,
people
it's a lot
to
of
figure
people.
out and assess who needs what level of care.
Right.
You're trying to,
That's a lot.
I said, I can tell you from in that field, I said, you're dealing with a whole lot of shit you didn't plan on in 5 minutes period of time,
Right.
so.
Nope, I get it. All right, so you have my number. If
Yep, and
anything
you
comes
got-
up,
Those came through, yeah?
let me see. I'll tell you one second.
It said complete.
Uh,
Like I said, there's some pictures, some video.
I'm assuming it's these.
Yep, that's obviously the
Okay.
video. That was at the corner.
Were you taking video at the time that the parade was going in front of you?
I had
Or did the
and that's why I
vehicle-
kicked myself. Well, I mean, again, we didn't know this hot dog was going to do that, but I had put my phone away because I put Jackson on my shoulder so he could get a
Okay.
better view.
All right. Nope, I got them. I got them all.
Good.
So thank you, sir.
Yes,
So no,
absolutely.
so yeah, I mean, it's 5:05 p.m. Right. So I think we'll be done for the day, right?
All right. So as I mentioned, Special Agent Matt Anderson with the Department of Justice, just to show you I'm legit here and not just a telemarketer telling you your car's extended warranty's up.
Okay.
So I just want to chat with you briefly just about that, I guess, interaction, I'll call it, through
Yeah.
Lyft with the individual here. So just to be clear, you weren't at the parade?
I was not, no.
Okay, so you didn't see anything at the parade or anything
No.
like that? The only knowledge that you have pertaining to this situation is through
Yeah.
that, I guess, Lyft.
Right. I mean,
Request.
I was in the area, but I wasn't physically at the parade.
Gotcha. So let's start with this. It's Anthony. What's the middle initial? All right, so driving for Lyft.
Yes, sir.
Is that something that you do regularly, occasionally?
Occasionally weekends.
Okay. Weekends primarily?
Yeah.
Okay. And what type of vehicle do you drive?
I drive a 2018 Dodge Charger,
What color is that?
white.
Okay. And so, and this was Sunday that this took place, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Sunday, what time do you think you started working? Are you able to track that on there?
Yep, I am able to
Okay.
track it. I was just gonna pull that up. I hate that they take away the messages that they leave after you're done with your rides, but
Oh, okay,
but they keep that stuff on file. I'm pretty
Sure.
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 Sunday was what? Oh, let me go previous week. And here's Sunday. So Sunday, I began at 3:25.
3:25 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many, I guess, fares did you have?
That day,
Yep,
11.
11. And what time did that request come in? Do you recall?
That request came in to me at 4:57. Well, I'm sorry. I accepted at 5:15 and 29 seconds.
Accept came in at 5:15,
Yeah.
20.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay. And so were those 11 fares prior to that, or were those just throughout the day?
Throughout the day, there was 2 prior fares to that.
Okay. And so that particular request, that was through the mobile app. Now, does it have a profile associated with who requested it,
Yep.
or so? Can we review that, or what that looks
So
like?
it won't let me see that anymore because I
Okay.
can't see people's information anymore. So it'll say passenger unavailable.
Okay.
But I just remember the name said Dawn.
Dawn.
Yeah, but there was no profile picture.
Okay. So DAWN.
Yeah.
No profile picture. Was there any other, I guess, identifying information involved with that profile that would pop up or would show you?
I did look at the address, to the drop-off address,
Yep.
and it was. I don't remember the addition. I just know it was 19th Street in Milwaukee.
19th Street in Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else about the request?
So when I get there,
And where were they when they requested the ride? Sorry.
Oh, so The pickup spot was 550 Maple. I don't know if it's Drive or Street out here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a company there that starts with an A. I can't remember the actual name of it, but
Okay.
I did actually kind of start looking at this stuff when I was like, wait, that's weird.
Yeah.
But there's a company, there's a parking lot, and there were several police officers along, I don't know if that's Maple there,
Okay.
but there were several police officers along the street. So I was in the parking lot at this, because I'm thinking whoever I'm picking up, they got to be at this company. That's the address
Yeah.
I was given.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you were physically in the parking lot waiting.
Yeah, and there was no other cars in that parking lot. There was nothing, honestly. There was actually, there was a cop car at the entrance of it, but that was it.
Okay. So you're waiting there.
Yeah, so I was waiting, and when I get there, I like to send people a message saying I'm in the white Charger. That's the message that's programmed into the phone already. I'm in the white Dodge Charger.
Yep.
And I got a message back saying, okay, you're looking for a black skinny guy with dreadlocks.
So I'm in a white Charger is an auto message sent to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then response to that
Yeah.
was what?
You're looking for a black skinny guy with dreadlocks.
Okay.
So I waited maybe 2 or 3 more minutes because there's like a 5-minute grace period.
Yep.
So I waited like 2 or 3 more minutes and nothing was going. I was like, and I sent another message like, well, where is he? And the response I got back was, do you not see him? And I responded, no. And then the response I got back from that was, okay, let me call him back. His phone is dead. He called me from someone else's phone.
Let me call him back. His phone is dead. He called.
Yeah, from someone else's phone. So that's what, when the video surfaced, that's what made my antennas go, oh, wait. Because there was a block and
Sure.
a half away.
So when you were waiting for that 2 or 3 minutes after you got that response that you're looking for a black skinny guy with dreadlocks,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sent them a message after that 2 to 3 minutes, do you recall what that message was?
My message after that was, I think I sent the message saying something to the effects of, okay, there's no one coming. And there was a follow-up message that said,
Do you not see him?
yeah, well, no, there's another follow-up message after that said, well, I don't know what to tell you.
So it said, do you not see him? I don't know what to tell you.
No,
Is
the
it-
first one said, do you not see him? But then I sent another message asking,
said-
where is he?
Yep, no, where is he?
Yeah, and then I want to say she, but Dawn could be a he.
And then they replied and said, let me call him back.
Yeah,
And then what was after
and
that?
then they said, I don't know what to tell you.
So you didn't respond after, let me call him back, his phone is dead, he called from somebody else's phone.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My response again after that was, where is he?
Okay. And then they responded back and said, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
Or something along those
yeah.
lines.
Basically, I guess they couldn't get in touch with him.
Okay. So what happened after that?
I got out my car. I went to the doors of this company because I don't know what the company even is. And honest to God, in my head, I'm thinking I'm picking up a kid.
Sure.
And I'm like, maybe because outside in the parking lot there's a basketball court. I'm thinking, well, maybe there's a kid and they're playing basketball or something, and she's trying to call her kid,
Yep.
But so I got up and I knocked on the door closest to the parking lot.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No answer.
Yeah, no answer. Then I went over to the next door of this company, knocked on that door. Or no, there's a buzzer. I rang that buzzer. No answer. After that point, I got back in my car, canceled the ride.
Okay.
Because now I'm probably I've been there for 8 or 9 minutes or so.
Okay. Any other follow-up communication on the app about the ride, or after it was canceled, was there any message received from the requester?
No, I never got anything else from him, and it was just weird because I knew there was tons of a parade because I had to go around the parade with my prior Lyft person.
Yeah.
So I knew there was a parade, but I knew there was a lot of cop present around, but I never knew what was going on. But then I have a niece that goes to Carroll. So I called my sister because she bowls for Carroll, and they go away and then they come back on Sundays and they have to meet at the school.
Oh,
So I called my sister and I'm like, hey, if y'all haven't got here yet, it's like hard trying to get even around Carroll College. There's a lot of police. I don't know what happened. But I guess they had already made it, and then my sister said that they had got a message saying there was an active shooting.
okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, I'm thinking to myself, because I'm not a dummy. I'm like, that's weird. There's an active shooting. Here I am waiting in a strange parking lot for someone. So, who I don't, So once I picked up my next person, it was a young lady who's not even from Milwaukee, and I had to take her downtown Milwaukee. Because my purpose was, I'm going back to Milwaukee. I put the filter on my app to say, who's ever going, if you're going to Milwaukee, cool, I'm going that way.
Yep.
The next lady I picked up, our whole conversation now was like, what if this is that person? Because I didn't know what happened. Then, because no one saw pictures or anything until the following day.
Yeah.
And then here it is, a black guy with dreadlocks. And I'm like, holy shit.
Sure.
And then I still didn't think it was the same person until I think like the next day there was the video of him on someone's porch trying to use their phone to call his Uber.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this lines up way too,
Sure.
with what was going on. So I'm like, whoever this other person was that requested for him, I don't even know if they knew what was going on,
Right.
But they were trying to get him a ride,
Yeah. Okay. So and I saw that the fare that's $4.04
Yeah,
was what
'cause-
was charged to the account.
Yep. Because once I cancel, the fact that I accepted it and I got to that, I traveled there, they still have to pay for a cancellation. But you can see what time I even canceled it.
What time does it say?
It says no show at 5:33:13.
So, accept was requested, or the fare was accepted at 5:15.
Mm-hmm. And then I had to travel the 1.6 miles from where I was.
And then it was rejected or declined at 5:33.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you mind if I just scroll?
No,
through
you
this
can go
real
ahead. Yeah. I think when I spoke to whomever I spoke to yesterday, I was saying like the conversations that happen, like I said, they go away. I can't see them anymore.
Yeah.
I wish they like saved somewhere in it. But I was like, I'm pretty sure Lyft has the conversations.
Yep.
They
Okay.
keep them.
So, with that being said, Anthony, I appreciate the information. We're kind of just funneling everything that we
Yeah.
have. Now, I'm sure there'll probably be some follow-up regarding getting access to that log, whatever that looks like.
Okay.
And hopefully we'd be able to do that with your consent.
Yeah.
And I don't know how that works. If
Yeah.
you basically request that, if they'd even give it to you as a driver, I'd imagine they
Right,
would, but...
right.
Basically, there's going to be some more dialogue regarding that Lyft request.
Okay.
If the PD or whoever wants to, I'm sure they could write a subpoena to Lyft, but if they can do it through consent, I'd imagine that they would do it that way. So
Okay.
there might be a follow-up conversation with you about that. I'll memorialize kind of the information that we talked about today and see where they want to go with it. So
Yeah, sure. Yeah, look, I'm willing to help out because that's not. I don't think anything that happened was cool.
It's
a lot of
I'm sure you've seen kind of the news and being from the area, at least you're familiar with kind of the pulse of what's
Yeah.
going on. And just a sad event on
Oh,
so
yeah.
many levels. I mean,
Right.
so many people are affected by this.
Mhm.
Not necessarily those that just were struck by the vehicle, but
just
I mean that witnessed
seeing
it. That
Yeah.
even on the news, it's a bad
Yeah.
bad situation all the way around. So I appreciate coming in and at least sharing the information that you have. So just to get this accurate, you had 2 fares prior to that request. That request fulfilled 1, so then we had 8 others.
Yep.
So 8 after the incident.
Yep. 8, wait. 9, 10. Did I count a streak? 8. Yep, 8. I counted
8.
a streak.
Okay, 8 after. 2 before, 8 after.
Yep.
Okay. Any other information that you have?
No, that's it. Yeah.
When you got out of the car to go knock on the doors, did you see anybody that could have? That you were like, hey, are you?
Nope. There
No?
was nobody around. There was. I'm in the parking lot. Like I said, cops on the street. Residents who are in their like driveways.
Yeah,
That's it, you know.
sure. And
But-
you said that the company starts with an A and it's on Maple
Yeah,
Street,
I-
550 Maple Street.
Yeah, I kind of looked it up yesterday because I was like, this can't be like because I kind of saw where the address where it say you guys found the car, and I'm like, this can't seriously be like the same ordeal. And let me see. And I kind of looked it up yesterday, and I was like, oh man, that's kind of weird. Oh wait, let me see. I'll take a picture because me and one of my coworkers were both looking at it because
Sure.
he had a friend that was actually there
Oh,
and that was in the hospital. So I was like, man, look at this. This is kind of weird.
yeah.
Let me see if I can see what here. There's the name of the company right there. Oh, is it not Maple Street? Was that Elizabeth Street?
Elizabeth Street.
Maple Street probably was the street you guys were. I don't know. But yeah, that's the name of the company. Whatever.
Harry's Industries. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Okay.
So I was just like, man, this can't be because how close was it? And this, yeah. So you guys
Sure.
were on Maple. Like
Oh,
that's
gotcha.
where you found the car.
Yep.
So I was like,
Okay.
oh, that's way too close for comfort.
550 Elizabeth Street, Aries
Yes.
Industries is where you waited. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that you think we should know or add, or I
No.
guess being a user of Lyft, anything that would be additional on there that you can think of? I mean,
No.
Dawn's profile obviously would have the information of who the
Yeah.
account subscriber is and all that, but you can't see any of that on your
Nope.
end.
I tried to like look through and just to see if I can like.
Is there
just hit that.
any way to see what the last four of the credit card is that they use, or is
Nope.
not even that?
I can't even see that.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Okay. So just to get that conversation right, auto sent. I'm in a white Charger, looking for a black skinny guy with dreadlocks. You wait a period of time. You say there's nobody coming, or I don't see anybody, and then the person says, well, you don't see them, and then you said no. Where is he? And this is more or less. And then that person said, let me call him back and see if his phone is dead. He called from somebody else's phone. And then you respond and say, is he around, or where is he?
Yeah.
And then they say, I don't know what to tell you.
Right. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Anthony. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no problem.
And like I said, there might be somebody that follows up with you in regards to the Lyft account and
That's perfectly
getting more
fine.
information. So appreciate you being willing to come in today and help us out even further down the road. So I'll walk you back downstairs so
Okay.
you know where we're going.
Please keep the victims and witnesses in your thoughts and prayers. I have included a link to the Waukesha Community Foundation Fund if you would like to learn how you can support the victims impacted by this tragedy. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.